the Brennan School of Business, Oak Park River Forest Community Foundation, and the Community Works Partnership for allowing us the opportunity to grow as professionals and an outlet to develop new and inventive ways to improve our community. So first, I'm going to introduce our group members. We have Judy DeGracias, Melanie Weiss, Anna Wilson, and I am Jackie Werner. We're going to introduce ourselves a little bit further and a little later in the presentation. But first, we want to start out by talking about our presentation and what our project is. So our project is Volunteer OPRF, and our vision was to create an online tool that would allow community members to connect with nonprofit organizations over volunteer opportunities. And we envisioned this being a website. So we wanted something that was easy for nonprofit organizations to post opportunities and something that was easy for our community members to navigate and kind of sort through opportunities. We were also really interested in the ability to track usage to see if there really truly was a need for this in our community. So it is our belief that there is a need for this, and we were able to fulfill it with our project. So we started off by doing some research. In December of 2013, we connected with some past CLP participants, so Christy Harris and Tom Olis. And they had developed a project for a group they were in, and it was a volunteer portal group. And their vision was very similar to what we wanted to do. They wanted to create a website that would connect volunteer opportunities with users. And they had done a lot of work on the project already. They had done a project outline, a budget, and all that great stuff. So we wanted to work with them to see if there was anything we could borrow. With what we learned from Christy and Tom, we continued to do some research of our own. So Anna had introduced us to this website called Volunteer Evanston. So as you can see from Volunteer Evanston, it's kind of like a one-stop shop. It's exactly what we envisioned. We wanted something where community members can easily sort through, and as you can see, this is a great place to do that. And so there was two things that really contributed to our decision-making process. So cost and time. To make something like this is extremely expensive, and it's hard to find somebody who will take it over and manage it from this point forward. So we continued to brainstorm over other opportunities that we could do. So determining our direction, we realized that a Facebook page would be the best option for us. It was feasible within our time frame of CLP. It was economical. It was right in our price range. It was free to start up. It's interactive, so people can post, like, and all that great stuff. And it allows us to really track the usage. As most of you already know, Facebook is the dominant social networking platform. It's used by 57% of all American adults. It's used by 73% of all those ages 12 to 17. And 64% of users log in on a daily basis. I mean, not me, but I know some people log in more than once a day. So we figured this would be the most appropriate way to do something like this. So our first step was to build a timeline. We had to create the page itself, and then we went ahead and developed a mission statement, and none of us are lawyers, and we didn't want to get into any legal issues, so we developed a disclaimer. Additionally, Trenton College provided some in-kind support. They created this logo, our director of marketing. And then actually our own Anna Wilson created our cover photo with pictures from the community. So in order to truly grow our idea, we created this framework, but we really had to take a step back and kind of gain the community support. So we had to get users and volunteer opportunities. And sorry, that's a snapshot of our page.
Some of you might remember there used to be a volunteer center in Oak Park. It was right near Marion Street. It was a physical little building. You went in and there were binders, and that's how people would find out about how they could volunteer in the community. And that closed about 5 or 6 years ago, and there really hasn't been anything to replace it since. There's been nothing, no way for volunteers to find opportunities, no way for volunteer organizations to connect with people. So we really realized that there's a real need, and that's what the other CLP group was also exploring with their project. So the first thing we did was we reached back, and when we met with Tom Olis and Christy Harris, they had this gold mine of information. They had all these great nonprofits in our local Oak Park River Forest community that they had contact lists already. So we put that together. We came up with about 40, 50 names of different wonderful nonprofits in this community that we could engage with and that we could connect with. And then between the 4 of us, we split that group up. So we each had maybe 10 contact names. We would take oh, I know this person, oh, I can connect with this person. So it was really personal, and we could go out and we could call people, we could give people our card, we could email people and say, look, we have this really great way for you as a nonprofit to tell the community about what your opportunities are. It's a new, exciting way, and it doesn't exist, and people were really excited and receptive to it. So that was the first thing we did, and we did make a volunteer OPRF Gmail so that we could get those opportunities, and then we would be posting the opportunities on the Facebook page ourselves. But we were asking the community, the nonprofits, to send us those opportunities of what needs they have for volunteers in the community, whether it's a long-time need, it's a one-time need, whatever need those nonprofits had, they were sending those to us, and we were posting them. So that was the first thing, and we have a letter that we wrote and sent out and emailed, and we bugged some people to make sure that they were aware and they wanted to get involved. And we live in this amazing, vibrant community where people really want to be involved. There's so many ways for people to engage. I mean, these are just, some of the great organizations that we were able to connect with. Then the other side of it is that, okay, there's a Facebook page and we are full of all these great opportunities for people, but we need to get the users. We need people that are going to come to our page, say, I want to volunteer, I want to learn about volunteer opportunities, I want my kids to volunteer, I want my family to volunteer. So we said, how are we going to reach the wonderful Oak Park Air Force community members and have them come and find our page and engage with our page? So we printed out business cards, and we printed up 1,000 of them. And we found that was really, a great way for us to reach out to people. And then Anna works for Downtown Oak Park, and Jackie's at Triton. I live in Oak Park, and Judy's in River Forest. So we each took our cards, and we kind of just spread them out throughout the community. We would put them at our health club, at our church or synagogue, at the library. We would give them to people. We would just engage, and we'd say, look, we have this great way for people to get involved. Come visit our site, like us, like our page, get involved, share us, tell people about us, engage with us. So that was, we had really active on both sides, obviously. We wanted to get the nonprofit organizations, but we need to get the volunteers. We wrote a press release, and we put that out as widely as we could. But then one of the great things that was nice being part of CLP was we had this huge network that we could reach back. Everyone of our 14 CLP members now, we talked about the page, we gave them our cards, we told them about it, but also we reached back into the previous networks, and we talked to Christy Harris, we talked to Jessa McKinnon and all these other CLP members in the past, and they were excited about our page, and we had them not only help engage with our page, but help tell people about our page and help promote it. So we were able to really use the whole CLP network to make our page give our page more exposure. And then that's the press release that was written and sent out. And we were able to get on Mom Mail the first listing, and as you know, Mom Mail is a great way for people to find out about what's going on in the community. We have had a few challenges, I have to be honest. We didn't get an article in the Wednesday Journal, we would like that. We really want one. So, we had like nonprofits sending us Gmail, sending through our Gmail, they're sending us opportunities, but we'd love to get more. We'd love to have you send one every week, or just keep sending us new opportunities. Resend the same opportunities if you have an ongoing need. We just want to get those posts, we want to keep getting those posts, and that's been something that we're really hoping to grow and to continue. And then the other is we just want to have greater exposure, and that's how everyone in the room here, you have a role in that, is we printed 1,000 more we're going to hand them out at the end of our talk. So we hope you can help us engage and tell people, and maybe even leave them in places that you think people might see them, because that's been one way that we've seen on Facebook, people, or even on Gmail, people said, oh, I've seen your card. So we've had people really feel like the cards can be successful, and we really just were hoping that you could help us today if we pass out some more, and you can help us spread the word. So I went out today in the village, and I was telling Jackie I got a nice suntan because I went about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I walked around to all the different booths. And as you know, there's nonprofits there from all over the village and Oak Park. And I handed out our cards, and I told a lot of people. So we are getting great exposure. We're excited to get more exposure, and we're excited to just keep growing our page.
So at this time, we had determined that the most logical direction for our project was to create a Facebook page matching community members with local volunteer opportunities. The first step was getting the nonprofits to know about us, as Melanie said, because we needed their volunteer opportunities as content. Collecting the opportunities was very important to build this virtual community. We needed the valuable content to keep new and potential followers interested in our page. So we're building a Facebook page, but I like to call it a virtual community because it's more than just a Facebook page. It's a place for people with a common interest to interact, provide support, build community, and get information. To continue building this page, we needed to know a little bit more about the followers, about who was liking us. So from Facebook Insights, we can see 88% of the people that liked our page were female, ages ranging from 25 to 54. You can see the top locations are Chicago and Oak Park. Why Chicago, you might be asking. I don't have a specific explanation for that, but I can say from experience that a lot of people that live in the suburbs say they live in Chicago on their Facebook pages, so that might explain why we see that statistic. So we had set an initial goal to get 500 likes for our Facebook page. As of yesterday, we were at 580. So here in this graph, you can see the growth of the Facebook page from April when we started it. So as I mentioned, it was our mission to match community members with volunteer opportunities. So we set a goal for ourselves to post 2 to 3 opportunities per week to keep the content fresh and people interested. So here are some examples of those opportunities we posted from the nonprofits. What we tried to do was in the blue, you can see we linked to the different nonprofits to give them visibility and kick some potential likes their way for people to click on that, learn a little bit about their Facebook page. Down in this corner, you can see we have some engagement of a person interested in volunteering or an opportunity we posted from Sugar Beet Co-op. Here are a few more opportunities from Prevail Parenthesis in the Oak Park Forest Food Pantry. So posting the volunteer opportunities was the core of our Facebook page, but we wanted a few more elements to really engage our followers. So if you're on Facebook, think about the posts that catch your eye, the posts you read subconsciously, and find yourself reading subconsciously because you know they will be good. So what makes a good post is if it's interesting, informative, funny, or entertaining are good indicators if the post will be well received. So aside from the opportunities, we had volunteer quotes that we just found different quotes and branded it to our volunteer OPRF image. We also did something we call a selfie series. For those that don't know, a selfie is a trendy type of photography when one takes a photo of themselves. Here, Mr. Mike Carmody takes a version of a selfie, although it is not your authentic selfie. We'll let it slide for this one. But he answers 2 volunteer-related questions, including what is your volunteer superpower? The post was shared with his nonprofit organization, Opportunity Knocks, and was well received. People liked it. 45 people tweeted that. So our selfie series was a fun way to link faces with our growing virtual community. And we took advantage of 2 classmates, Michelle and Molly, who had taken selfies before because they were obviously natural. Michelle was a great people there. We really appreciated their support. Next, so aside from the post, we knew we had to get involved ourselves and interact with the local volunteer community. We did this through a number of ways, and I apologize to non-Facebook users for using some jargon here, but we liked, shared, commented on other organizations' posts to build relationships and increase visibility. You can see down in the left corner some of the organizations we liked their page and interacted with other pages just so they saw us on Facebook. We also volunteered ourselves and did our own version of selfies, which weren't quite fun. So at this point, we're doing a good job getting our page out there, but Facebook has made it very hard over the years to get exposure without giving them some cash. So pages can grow organically, but if you put some money towards ads, many more eyes will see your posts, so that's what we did. Here's the Facebook ad we ran. The first time we ran it for $40, we got a reach of 1,400, so 1,400 Facebook users saw our ad. The second time, we changed it to have an audience of females, since we knew women were our main demographic. You can see the reach increased to 2,500, and got some engagement with 67 likes and 91 clicks. The third time, so you can filter Facebook ads, and we changed some keywords and interests and that was the best version of this ad for us, reaching 2,800 people. And so we then ran the ad, that same version 1C ad a couple times because that worked well for us. So here's another type of ad we did, a paid post. This we posted early on, probably in April. We just asked, are you looking for volunteer opportunities? Visit volunteer OPRF, like our page and share with your circles, hashtag OPRF, hashtag Horse, hashtag volunteers. Have a volunteer opportunity you'd like to share, email it to us. So we promoted this post for $25 and had a reach of 3,500. And 20 post engagements, which are likes, comments, or clicks. So as I said before, pages can grow organically, but the Facebook ads really gave us the extra boost and visibility we needed to build our virtual community and grow our Facebook page. But of course, this would not have been possible without our project budget.
And as far as budget goes, we were able to get some financial help from the CLP funding process. We got a total of about $400, of which we used 343. We used the money to purchase business cards and also use it towards the Facebook ads and promotions. And Triton also provided us with in-kind support in the form of our marketing. I guess I'm not being loud enough. In the form of our marketing, our logo and so forth. And here we've got a little comparison of what it would cost for us to do a full-fledged website like Volunteer Evanston, which would probably be about $60,000 a year. And a WordPress blog would be about $1,500 a year from what we can tell. So Facebook really gives us a lot of bang for our buck. Facebook also allows us to utilize our connections. And one of the things, if we've learned anything in the CLP program, we've learned the value of networking. And we used our connections with our own CLP class members as well as previous ones to provide content and promotions for this page. So we've built this community and we have 500 likes to date. I think there's about 30 to 40 guests in the audience. I hope we see immediately after this program is concluded about 30 to 40 more likes on our page. Melanie will be passing out the cards to direct you to the Facebook page. We've gotten great feedback and I think we've really done a good job of demonstrating the need for an interactive page for this community. One of the greatest things we heard, it was so gratifying to hear this, was Mike Harmony from Opportunity Knox said that I think the volunteer portal is a very cool concept. I'm not sure if we got any volunteers from it, but I think things like these will take time to catch on. I think you're definitely on the right track. I like seeing all the posts about different organizations. So we really like where this is going. We hope you do too. We feel like Facebook is such a great venue for us because it's a one-stop shop for everyone. So many people are on it anyway. It's a way to link to common interests and share with your friends. It reaches so many people, and it's a way of people getting to dabble in volunteerism without necessarily committing themselves to one organization in particular. So our call to action is that there's a few options for this to go. One is it could evolve into its own website, but that would take an organization to take it under its umbrella and also provide funding and manpower for it. Another is for it to continue on as its own Facebook page, but run by an independent group or an organization, someone's organization can take it on. And the third is that it could become its own organization run by a passionate community volunteer. So this is our group, and before we talk about what we learned, we want to talk a little bit, take a few moments for each of us to tell you about what we learned before we open up to questions. One of the things I learned early on was when we were in the process of creating this idea, was that we were kind of hung up on the disclaimer for the Facebook page, and I kept asking David Arendt, the professor of marketing, helping out our class, what should we do about this? I'm really concerned, we don't want to get sued over this. He said, don't get too caught up in this. Don't allow it to suppress the idea of creation. And he was right. We were able to just kind of pull something together and just put it up there, and it really hasn't hampered us at all.
And I've really enjoyed being part of the whole community leadership program class since the fall. It's been a really great experience. And I was saying that I feel like this was the class I was meant to be in. This is the cohort I was meant to be part of with this group of people. And also this project. I knew coming in I wanted to work on something with volunteering in the community, and it was just so neat to have the four of us come together, and we each had just like the right skills to work together and make this happen. So it just seemed like exactly where I'm meant to be, and just the classes that we had and the lessons that we learned. I really understand a lot more about being part of a nonprofit board and managing nonprofit boards. So it's just been a really wonderful year for me.
So I am not from Oak Park or River Forest, I'm from Elmwood Park, but I have been to Noodles and Company and overwise enough to think that I know enough about it. However, that wasn't the case. I learned so much about all the great organizations that these towns have to offer, and I really look forward to promoting these to train students as well as getting involved myself. So that's what I took away.
I went to Dominican my freshman and sophomore year, so I just enjoyed being back in the Dominican atmosphere around the Dominican community. Ron, Professor Aaron, it was really nice to be learning again. I also enjoyed listening to female community leaders, Jan Payne and Sophia Lloyd, just off the top of my head, were really valuable to listen to and learn from. So overall, it was just a good experience. So Melanie's going to hand out our cards. And please.
In Evanston, which organization manages their volunteer website?
Yeah, I spoke with the woman that does that. She is with the Village of Evanston. I'm sorry, the City of Evanston. But it's funded by Northwestern, a school district, maybe 2 school districts. Their community foundation and the village or city, and I think there are 5 total that sponsor it. But it's run by an employee of the
Village Hall.
Hi. You had mentioned at several points that you posted this or you posted that. At this point, are the 4 of you actually doing the work of keeping it rolling?
Yes.
And what will happen after you're done?
Yeah, we discussed that. Yeah, I think we're just going to kind of be in the transition, posting in the meantime. It really doesn't take too much time to just copy and paste either. We actually get the posts on the Facebook page. People post it right, the opportunities right on there. Or they email them to us is what we ask them to do. Or we go out and find them. So it's really minimal work right now, and I think we'll transition over until it develops into its next.
It's important for us to sustain this site because we've been advertising it to students and to the community.
Any success stories from the placement of volunteers?
Not that I know. I think that we are still trying to gain feedback since it was recently implemented, but
Yeah, not yet. I think we're still kind of in the beginning phases, and it's taking a little bit to develop.
We have also had some people contact us via Gmail and just ask us how they can get involved. So they're maybe, they're just trying to kind of connect more through Gmail also. And we're going to put more cards out in reception, so you can please. Thank you. Thank you.